Felina and Lisa. It looks like they're muted. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I have mine on mute just because I have my kids here too, so anyone could start freaking out at any minute.
All good.
But I'm glad I made a call finally. Well, I guess I can tell her myself, but I'm glad she's doing a second one so I can hear it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd like to hear how she paid off over $400,000 in a year.
No. Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. Awesome. Okay. Well, it is 3:01, and I think we're just going to honor everyone's time and get started. For those of us who are joining us here live, thank you so much. I know that you're taking, a lot of time out of your day to be here on this call. I probably had to rearrange some things and stop what you're doing. So I'm really, really glad that you were able to be on here with us. And if you're joining us for the recording, hello. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to stop and listen to this on the recording. And I do hope that you get a lot out of it. So I'm going to start. So basically the reason why I'm so passionate about this first steps to success stuff is because so when, a few years ago when I was first starting to build my business, I was, a school teacher. If you know anything about teaching, I was working about, 60, 70 hours a week with that job, and barely able to pay my bills. I mean, we're talking, I was buying groceries with my credit card. Like, I was flat broke. And so I saw my business as the only hope for getting me out of my financial hole. Like, I couldn't even afford my student loan payments. I was just like deferring and deferring and deferring as long as I could. So, anyways, but my business was totally stuck. I had been at the same OGV, let's say like 1,000 OGV for like a straight year. And I was working my butt off, but nothing was happening. And so I was really, really frustrated. But then I got some training. And as soon as I got training, let's see, if you are on the call, and go ahead and mute yourself if you have background noise. Thank you. So I got some training, and after that, it was just amazing. I saw my OGV jump from it was 3,000. I went in the month of January, and then 4 months later, it was 20,000, and I was silver. So I went from senior star to silver within 4 months, and then so I basically quadrupled. And then a year later, it quadrupled again, and I made gold. And so that was huge, and I love being able to just pay down my debt now. I don't work 60, 70 hours a week anymore. I teach because I love it. I teach and probably work this job, 20 hours a week. It's amazing. I love getting to design my life. And so we're here with Tammy Zapier, and as you know, she has an amazing story, which she will share with you. But what I really love about Tammy, and the reason why she now works for Danny Johnson, is because she is really someone, she wants to see us win. This woman she has a real passion for our team, and she wants to see us succeed. She's the one, who is in our corner, and she wants to see us reach all those goals. And so that is actually her job. And one thing I love about her, she just has like a huge heart for helping people. Like when you talk to her, it's not about her. It's about like, how can she help you succeed? So she's going to give you some of her best tips to kind of to see us reach our goals and to win as a team. So welcome, Tammy.
Hey, thank you so much. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. I think we're good.
Awesome. All right. Heather, thank you so much. And to the team too, thank you so much for having me. It's my privilege to be able to work with such an outstanding team on a conference call for people that are committed. You all have an amazing leader in Heather. She is dedicated. She is a true leader. She has amazing qualities. I would strongly suggest anyone who's on her team, grab a pen and paper whenever she has time to teach you, learn and mimic what she's doing, because she is making a huge impact in what she does. Also, if you're part of Young Living, you've made an incredible choice, because Young Living is one of the most amazing companies out there, and I've seen so many different companies, but Young Living, absolutely amazing. Good product, good people, great customer service, seat to seal, cannot be beat. So absolutely awesome. I want to say thank you for committing your time, everybody who's made that time to be on this call. I know you're committed because you made the time to be on this call. You took time out of your day, you reorganized your schedule, you found maybe even a sitter for the kids. So thank you so much for that investment of your time. I'm excited to definitely be working together with Heather, like I said, because you impress me a lot. Your leadership, the skill in which you communicate, phenomenal. I've seen such a huge growth in who you are as a person, and it just keeps going up and up every time I see you at the events. You remain so teachable. You're very transparent. You have no hidden agenda. You're an incredibly open person about the areas you need to work on. You say, these are the areas I need to work on. I want to be the best leader for my team. I want to be the most effective leader for my team. I want to bring value to my team. I want to lead by example. So you're not only the person who is leading by example, but you're doing everything. You're following directions. You're committing your time. You're prioritizing your time. You're using so many different skill sets that you've learned by plugging into Danny Johnson and First Steps. And it's just amazing to see the impact that you're having. Absolutely awesome. You're not the kind of leader who says, I want my team to do this, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not willing to. You are definitely the leader who leads by example. You do everything that you're telling your team and encouraging your team to do. You don't give the excuse if I don't have time for that. You're the one who says, I'm going to make the time for it. I'm going to dedicate and do everything I can do to support my team, to guide them in the right direction, to give them, the right tools so they can set themselves up for success. So that's a huge thing. You're an amazing leader. So the other thing about you that I'm totally impressed by is your humility. You aren't afraid to say, I don't know everything, and I want to make sure that I'm setting my team up to succeed by providing a training platform where the team will learn whatever I might not be able to deliver, or might not be able to deliver as good as someone else that's done this longer than I have. So that's huge. Heather, thank you so much for your humility. Thank you so much for being teachable. When I do a conference call, there's not really a set script or anything that I follow. I have basic guidelines, but I try to customize the call for people and the teams that I'm talking to. I try to find out who's going to be on the conference call. What can we do to help you? We being Heather and I. Again, my goal is to see you win, and not just see you win by a landslide. So if I can create a win-win situation for everybody, that's awesome. The other thing I look at is, what can I cover that will help this team with their biggest obstacles? Your obstacles might not even be business related. They might be getting out of debt. They might be building better and stronger relationships with their friends and family, restoring relationships. They might be time management. You run out of time before you know what to do with it. Your day's so jam-packed with activity and things to do, or again, focusing on business, yeah, this might be your very first run with a direct sales company, or you might have had a crash and burn experience in the past. We're here to work with you to avoid those areas. You've heard about Danny, the homeless cocktail waitress. She had $2.03 to her name. She became a self-made millionaire in 2 years. She went on to make multi-millions. So this is who we plug people into for training. This alleviates you based on your current skill set of having to provide training. Oh my gosh, what if I get as successful as Heather? What if I get as successful as, platinum people, double diamond, all the way up there? Well, guess who a lot of them are plugging into? Danny Johnson. So, basically, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me so you get an idea of where I'm coming from. Prior to getting any training whatsoever, I was suicidal from a young age. I hated people. I hated my life. I hated myself. I trusted nobody. I was very judgmental. If someone smiled at me, the first thought in my head is, what are you looking at? I had broken relationships left and right. I had a huge broken relationship with my father, a strenuous relationship with my sisters. I was swimming in debt. When I say swimming, I was drowning in debt. I couldn't even see the top of the water line. I was so far deep in the ocean of debt. It was ridiculous. It kept me up at night. The sad thing was I was a debt collector. So guess what I got to do? I got to tell people, hey, you got to pay your debt. But I was swimming in debt. After plugging in and getting some training, learning, the concept of how a millionaire thinks and applies himself when it comes to debt, to business, and to relationships, as well as time management, I was able to pay off $457,500 in 10 months by using some simple techniques and different frame of mind that Danny teaches at the events. I was able to not only restore, but have a renewed relationship with my father. We talk, at minimum once a week now. My sisters and I, amazing connection. I obviously, I'm no longer suicidal. I'm still here. And I have friends left and right. I learned that I love people of all things. Oh my gosh. So it's amazing what happens when you learn those communication skills. You learn to stop beating yourself up. You have just a different line of thinking because of opening yourself up to being trainable, being teachable. Hey, if you don't know about finances, where can you go? Sure, there's so many people out there, but you want to look for someone who has a track record of success and results in the areas that you're seeking that guidance in. So the number one reason why 90% of people fail in any area of focus is because of no training or bad training. Danny Johnson is able to overcome that obstacle because she has tens of thousands of testimonies of people from every walk, every religion, every gender, every background, every ethnicity, every profession, who's able to give a recommendation for her because they've applied what she's taught and are seeing the benefits of plugging into that training. What the pros know about this. So, Heather, correct me if I'm wrong. You said, hey, I want to succeed in my business. Mm-hmm. And someone came along and said, hey, have you heard of Danny Johnson?
Yep.
So you outsourced your training to Danny, right?
Yeah.
So it took a lot of stress off of you, and it cut your learning curve by quite a lot to be able to just say, oh, there's this lady who already carved this path, has amazing results, and so off you go, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So what a lot of professionals know is you outsource your training. You have a broken computer and you don't know a thing about computers. Are you going to sit there and try and take it apart, or are you going to call someone to repair it? You're probably going to call someone to repair it or end up with a bucket of parts all over your floor. So what the professionals know is they outsource. They say, hey, I'm not proficient enough at that, and I don't have the time to learn it, so I'm going to hire someone who knows what they're doing to fix it, and I can move on. So the dilemma, there's a huge high cost that can be associated with outsourcing. When you bring someone from IBM to work on your system, where you're calling the support line that's not covered in your basic coverage for your computer. I'm using computers as an example because I'm terrible with computers. So, so I use that as an example. Well, the solution, you find someone who's getting the results, who can fix that computer at an incredibly reasonable cost. A little bit about first steps to success. There have been thousands upon thousands of people who have been made six-figure and seven-figure income earners because of applying training that they learned at First Step to Success. Don't get me wrong, First Steps to Success is an amazing focus for business, but a lot of people find that when they go, they learn so much more than just business. They learn about getting out of debt like myself. They learn about deeper, stronger relationships with their husband and their children. They learn about managing their time. They learn even spiritual things they're getting into. An example, there's tens of thousands of examples, but Mike Almeida, for example, he, prior to plugging into Danny, he was drowning in debt. He was paralyzed by fear. He lived through a lot of broken relationships. Since plugging in, he's gotten rid of $480,000 worth of debt in 28 months. He's got a completely mended marriage with his wife. He's become a fearless leader in the marketplace that is able to change lives. Another example would be Serena Anderson. Prior to plugging into Danny Johnson, she was a depressed alcoholic. She had a lot of suicidal thoughts. She was buried under a mountain of debt. She was feeling like she was existing with no true purpose instead of living and feeling, instead of living a life with vision. She had a toxic marriage that she was living through. Since plugging in and applying the learning, she has found purpose. She's completely sober for almost 3 years. She's paid off over $35,000 in debt, and she has a mended, restored relationship with her husband. Those are just a couple stories. Andrew Arnold, for example, prior to plugging in, he was lost in the direction he was supposed to go, didn't know what he was supposed to do with his life, despised working for someone else, hated having a boss, couldn't stand being around his wife. After applying and going into First Steps to Success, he was excited to be married. He started his own business and had a very clear vision and direction for what his life would look like in 5 to 10 years. Gail Bailey, before plugging in, she was paralyzed by debt. She was a slave to business. She was overwhelmed by responsibilities. Since attending First Steps, she and her husband had paid off $80,000 in debt. They found a way to cut back the working hours to just 32 hours a week and acquire a sense of peace and knowledge that she's right where she should be in life. So those are just some of the stories. I could go on all night, but I value everybody's time. I appreciate you all giving your time and prioritizing and being on this call. So the bottom line is, you're scared, you're not sure what to do, or you're confused, you're seeking additional guidance. I can only suggest giving Danny Johnson a try. There's 100% money back guarantee. So if you're not satisfied by the end of the event, you have nothing to lose, everything to gain. I'm going to give everybody my phone number. You feel free to call me and I'll be able to answer questions on an individual basis because I respect everybody's time as well as privacy. Again, our goal is to see you succeed ridiculously well. So there are 3 kinds of people. I'm going to start with the third kind of person. The third kind of person says, hey, thanks, but no thanks. I like my life the way it is. I'm okay with the debt that I have. I'm okay with the stresses that I have. I'm okay with I'm okay with my situation. I honor you. I wish you the best of luck. I wish you blessings on your journey. I thank you for tuning in and checking out this conference call. I wish you nothing but the best. There's a second kind of person who says, let me think about it. Let me run it by the husband, the dog, the cat. I'll talk to my kids and see what they think. great. Call me when you're ready. We are happy to work with you. There's the one kind of person, the first person we're looking at is the person who says, you know what, I'm in all the way. I am tired of living life that society says I should live. I am tired of being worried about debt. I'm ready to move ahead with my relationships. I'm ready to really learn how to attract customers to me. I'm ready to learn how to grow and attract leaders to me. I'm ready to get my mind in the right mind frame so I can overcome the fears that I have that are business related or in any other area of my life. I am ready to grab a hold and master time and really learn how to prioritize my time, get rid of distractions, have clarity and focus, create vision for myself, get that fire in my belly, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Who do I call? Well, my name is Tammy. My phone number is 830-225-1639. Again, that's 830-225-1639. I am honored and privileged to be working with Heather. She is an amazing, effective team leader. I cannot encourage you enough that if you are training with her, you make sure you have a note paper and a pen, take notes of what she's doing, mimic what she's doing, and you will be as successful, if not more successful. And Heather and I can probably both agree, we hope that you are ridiculously successful. We hope that you accomplish whatever goals that you are after earlier than what she did, right, Heather?
Way earlier, please.
So, yeah, again, thank you so much for your time. I am more than happy to take you by the hand to get you registered, answer any questions that you have, or if you have questions about, maybe you're noodling around on the website like I was before I got my feet wet with it, and you have questions on any product, I'm happy to answer product questions and just anything I can do for you, whether it's business related or you're going, man, this might be something that I could use for my marriage, my kids, mending relationships with my family. I'm here for those too. I want you to win in every single area of your life, not just business. So please feel free to call me. Anything we say is confidential unless you give me permission otherwise. So thank you so much for your time. I wish everyone a most amazing night.
Thanks, Tammy.
Definitely.
You're awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yay. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining. So if you have any questions for Tammy, if this resonated with you at all, you wanted to ask her any questions about, I know a lot of you wanted to know how to get business builders to first steps, have them either plug into this or even call Tammy to set up another call like this with your team. So thank you so much for joining. I hope you got what you needed out of it. It seriously is the best thing, changed my life. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Hey, Heather.
Thanks.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is it something we should register that links to Tammy or yourself? Is it important to call her to register for the event, or can we just go online to register?
I think if there's different packages, and if you call Tammy, then she can help you pick out which package is best. So I would definitely call Tammy before you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Cool.